Hey guys, this is Kelly. I am back with a process video. This layout is for Stuck Sketches and it is for their April 15th reveal. And the sketch calls for one 4x6 photo, and I'm going to stay pretty close to this sketch because it's a little bit different than some of my pages that I've been making lately. And I find that when I want to try something a little bit different creatively, that sometimes if I follow a sketch, it just makes it easier. And because, as I said, this was different than pages that I've been making lately, I stuck to it, and I do really like the way that the page came out. It's always fun for me to make something that I would not have normally made myself. So I am using the Beautiful Oasis collection by Crate Paper. I just have a few of the 12 by 12 sheets and the 6 by 6 paper pad and some of the stickers and die cuts. I do not have the chipboard and I don't have a lot of the 12 by 12 sheets, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to go back and order some more of it. This collection is just beautiful, and if you love Crate Paper, this is another one of their collections that they just knocked it out of the park. I did not know just how much I would love this collection until I actually had my hands on it. So I'm pulling out just some of the die cuts that fit the theme, and I'm not going to use all of them that are on the page. I just wanted to go ahead and get a couple of the clusters started. When I was looking at this, I just decided that the flamingo was just a little bit too big on that side, and so in just a second you're going to see me toss it. I will get it on a page though because I love it. So one of the inspirations for the colors, I loved the blue paper that is behind the cardstock, and I felt it worked well since I was wearing a navy blue top. And the sticker that I had pulled to the side said, "I'd go anywhere with you." So I just thought that was really good since it was a picture of me and my husband. And I also just liked the way that it showcased that pattern. So the sketch shows a scalloped border at the bottom, a couple of paper layers, and I'm sorry my camera has been knocked, or the tripod has been knocked a little bit. Juliet likes to get up on it and rub her head around it, and it just knocks off the position. So I'm really looking into something that will mount into the ceiling, just so that number one, she doesn't knock into it, but number two, it gives me a little bit more of my desk space. So if anybody knows of anything, please link it, or, give me the name, because I really would appreciate that. Technology is not necessarily my biggest friend. So that blue piece of paper that I had trimmed for the bottom, I felt like it was too wide, and I wanted a thinner piece of that. So I don't want to waste that piece of paper, so I decided I'm going to use it to mat out my photo a little bit more. And when you do it like I'm doing right now, it looks like it's one big piece behind the photo, but it's not, and it doesn't use a lot of the pattern paper. And for me, my paper doesn't get wasted, and again, it's just using that pretty blue color that I really like. So the picture is pretty close to the center of the page on the sketch, and I wanted to replicate that since there are two clusters coming off on both sides of the photo. So I just used my T-square ruler, which is my favorite tool I think that I have, and centered it. I didn't worry about it being absolute on point with the center, just eyeballed it, but at least I know that it's close enough and the photo is also mounted straight. So I went ahead and trimmed off a thinner pattern paper strip, and I'm sorry that it's off screen. I will try and let you know everything though that I do with it. So these are the puffy stickers that do come with the collection as well, and they have some great word phrases that aren't necessarily vacation or travel related. So if you like things that really give you the most bang for your buck, they're definitely a good item to consider. I ultimately do not put them on the page though. you will see that I will pull them again and maybe one other time. I love them and I really wanted to try to work them onto the page, but I decided that vacation time, which is going to go in the bottom left-hand cluster on the bottom part of the page, that will be my title, and I will be fine with that. So these beautiful palm leaves, I guess they're palms, yes. I thought would be really pretty behind the photo, and it also just helps to bring out the grass that we are sitting in front of. And the tan and white polka dot paper, you know, originally when I had gotten the paper, it was for the other side, the blue with the floral and the leaves. I'm trying to think, there's something else, fauna. There's another word for it, but I had gotten it for that other side of the paper. But I really like the craft on this, and I think it's because it helps to pull out some of the gold. Craft sometimes can get dark, and I have been more drawn to white cardstock or lighter pages with pops of color. So again, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, but I really think that it is a great neutral for this collection. So I'm going to try this title out for a little bit, but I'm going to take it off in just a second. I am pulling off some more of the stickers. I found the gold palm leaves, and I thought that it would be, they're smaller, and I thought it would be a great addition to the cluster down at the bottom. So I'm sorry that you can't see me messing with that little palm leaf, but I will push it up in just a bit and you'll be able to see it. So I do like the way it's coming together, and I do want to go ahead and get things stuck down. When the items on my page start moving, it really begins to drive me bonkers, just because I like to know where it's going to be, and I want it to stay so that I can build things around it. I don't necessarily use a whole lot of adhesive when I'm adhering things down to just get them to stay, and I'll go back later and apply more adhesive. So I didn't want to waste that little bit of the scallop border that I cut from the bottom, so I just trimmed it a little bit and put it under the cluster. And I do like the way that just brings that polka dot up on the page, and it helps to fill in that cluster a little bit more as well. So on the sticker sheet, I pulled off a couple of the phrases. The first says more of this, and the second is me and you. And I thought those were really good phrase stickers to use on this page, because who doesn't want more of vacation time? Vacation time is the best. You know, when you don't have to worry about your job and, cleaning the house and doing all of the other things that is normally associated with your day-to-day living. It's just nice to take a break. So I am just looking through the page, and I added a few of the gold glitter hearts to this. And as I was looking, I felt like the bottom cluster needed another pop of something. So the postage sheet I bought to actually use as embellishments and not to use as the paper. I cut out 2 of the small postage stamps. I did not do the postage stamp border. There is no time to be finicky with that. I just cut it in a square, and you really can't tell the difference, and I like the way that it helps to frame that cluster. It felt complete once I added those 2 little postage stamps. So a little bit of twine in the top of the tag, and that's pretty much going to do it. I do pull out my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I sprinkle some on the page. I get a little bit too much in the bottom corner. You're going to see what happens in that bottom. It kind of has a big couple blobs. So I'm going to go back off camera after it dries a little bit, because I want to try to cover up a couple of the blobs, and I add some of the gold hearts that came with those words that you see to the left. So look in the close-ups and you can see how I kind of masked that a little bit, and it looks a lot better, at least to me. So thanks so much for joining me. Check out the blog, which I will link below, so you can see what the other design team members have made. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.